Welcome to the October 5th, 2021 episode of Reactive Consciousness, the in-depth podcast about what happened this week in our lives. I'm your host, vysethebold, and this is...
Lotus Prince.
And another week of all kinds of nonsense, Lotus Prince.
Wait, this isn't what I signed up for.
This is the nonsense show. We're recording live from Mad Magazine's offices. Get Kaputnik on the line. Do you remember that episode from Simpsons?
I will never wash these eyes again.
Love it. Alfred E. Newman, a real person, running it.
And he has a wacky voice.
Get Kaputnik on the line. But anyway, we have lots of news to talk about. Now, this first one you brought up, but and it's more relevant to you as a streamer, but I know it's a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really use Twitch to stream, but I follow people who do. And we were talking about how there's, like, hate raids going on Twitch and stuff like that. Well, finally, incredible that they didn't do it years ago. Wonder why that could be. But Twitch has finally implemented the option for phone verification for chat. So it's not for the website. An individual streamer can choose to have that be a thing for their chat. If you want to follow this person, then you may have to verify like two-factor authentication, authentication, so you like to prove you're like a real person. Potentially annoying if everybody does it, because you're going to have to put that in for every streamer you follow, but that's because it's up to the streamers whether they want to do that. So it's a step.
Well, it's good because there are plenty of people that are part of like sensitive groups on there, I would say, and more susceptible to hate raids.
Yep.
For sure. So I'm sure that they appreciate the fact that they can have safety features put in place to avoid harassment. These people just want to play video games and hang out with people.
Yep.
They don't, it's ridiculous, like that people even have the time for that.
I was just gonna say, this is what they choose to do with their free time.
Yeah, I imagine a lot of it is teenagers and other people that don't have a whole lot to do, but I don't.
I mean, you could choose not to be a dirtbag.
Yeah, I mean...
It's very easy to not be a worthless asshole.
Lotus, I keep thinking about how, like, I wish I was a teenager again, just so I could have my free time back.
Yeah, that's like, back when we were teenagers, we risked, like, cringy behavior, but we didn't commit fucking hate crimes.
No, I was never a kind of person that wanted to be a dirtbag. Like, if I was a dirtbag, it was by accident, or, because I didn't know any better, not because, like, I was, trying to be a dirtbag.
Yeah.
So, I don't get it. I don't know. But I'm glad that it's there in place, because I know quite a few trans people that are on there that need protection against this kind of stuff. A lot of just women in general need protection from this kind of stuff. Unfortunately, women who are half the population need to be protected against just straight up hate, which is ridiculous. So it's just I don't know what to do. But anyway, it's something that's grossly needed. In other news, I can't say that this is a surprise. It's actually kind of a surprise to me that it hadn't already happened. But Bluepoint Studio was acquired by Sony to be an internal studio. Bluepoint is famous for most famous for remaking Shadow of the Colossus for PS4 and Demon Souls for PS5. And they've done a lot of other really good projects as well.
Didn't they do Zone of the Enders PS3?
Yeah, they've done a lot of other like up-resing or like HD remake projects that have always turned out well.
Yeah, and Zone of the Enders PS3, by the way, that was not a remake, that was a remaster that was cleaning it up and everything, but yeah, still them.
Yeah, Bluepoint's... I forget who they... what other games? Bluepoint games. Let me see here. Yeah, I don't know, but we'll... Wait, here we go. Blast Factor. I don't know much about that one. That was their first one, so that could be forgiven. But the God of War collection for PS3, which is pretty awesome.
Oh, what do you know?
Has like 5 games on it, right? Or 4. Ico and the Shadow of the Colossus collection.
That was them. So they did Shadow of the Colossus twice. They remade it and they remastered it.
Yeah, Metal Gear Solid HD collection. Oh, that turned out really well.
Yeah, it did.
PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale. They did the Vita version of that. They ported that. They ported Flower to PS4, which is a wonderful game. They ported Titanfall to 360. Wow, I didn't know that. Uncharted Nathan Drake collection, which is a really good collection. Gravity Rush Remastered, which was also really good. That was wonderful, actually, on the PS4. Shadow of the Colossus and Demon Souls. So, yeah.
That's quite the collection.
These guys have good work under their belts. These all were favorable, like, so much so that you wish they had done, like, that work for Konami before that Metal Gear collection, because they were having trouble. Their Zone of the Enders, like the original collection that they made, was not good. When they first put it on PS3 and 360.
Well, wasn't that a case where like a different company did Zone of the Enders, and then Bluepoint did it better?
Yeah, I think they fixed it or something.
Like, because I remember hearing about there was a patch to the collection that like got rid of the name of the original people who ported it, which is fucking brutal.
Yeah, they might have done like a shadow kind of thing, or maybe it was a different company. I'm not sure, but it doesn't appear to be on their video gameography here, but I'm not sure who did that, but whoever fixed it up pretty good, or at least the second game on PS3.
Because anyway. Like when that collection first came out, the PS3 version was not good. The 360 version was the one to get, but now the PS3 version's actually a little better. Yeah, it's kind of funny how that turned out. I don't think there is a good version of the first game. That's fine.
It's kind of a shit show. But anyway.
Nah, I played it on PS3. It's fine.
Yeah. It's just the first game is very short. I remember it being only
very
2
short.
hours.
Yeah, that's the game that you bought because it had the Metal Gear Solid 2 demo disc with it.
Yeah, it was like the first Kojima Productions like game outside of Metal Gear, I think, if I remember right. So people were excited about it, but
instead of like tactical espionage action, it was like high speed mech action or something like that.
Yeah. Well, the second game is excellent, so I definitely recommend that. But geez, it was High Voltage that did that, I think.
Okay.
But anyway, moving on. Speaking of Metal Gear, there are a ton of rumors going around about Metal Gear, Castlevania, and Silent Hill right now.
The problem is there's rumors about Silent Hill like just every
daily.
day for like years.
I'm convinced it's just something that people put like on their website in order to get clicks at this point, and even more popular websites are buying into it.
Yeah, like outside of Silent Hill, excuse me. Outside of Pachinko, Konami hasn't done anything with Silent Hill since like 2012, and that was way forward. Like over half of the Silent Hill games that America has gotten have been outsourced, like since Origins and the PSP.
I mean, isn't PT the last Silent Hill thing, technically?
It's not even Silent Hill. It's just people. It's just people really associated with it.
Well, it was the teaser for Silent Hills, so...
Well, the end of PT had a trailer for it, but PT itself was just a horror game to see where this is going. Like, it's associated with Silent Hill, but it's really not.
I'm just saying it was, like, the last official, like, console thing produced, like, that's related to it. I guess, unless you want to count Bomberman, which has...
Well, yeah, I mean, that's not Silent Hill, that's slapping Pyramid Head in another game. Like, what's the other one? Dying Light?
Yeah, exactly. This is, we've been around long enough to be able to tell you, eventually somebody's going to be right about this just because they keep saying it.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I liken it to, like, if you follow, like, financial news, like, there's always some guy, like, screaming about a crash happening. Like, that guy's going to be right eventually, because there's always a crash. But, I mean, like, come on. It's a cyclical thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's... Konami has finally woken up with the collections that they've been putting out. So, they recently put out a really terrible soccer game, apparently. I heard
about that.
They put out a free-to-play soccer game, like one of their Pro Evolution
I
games.
saw screenshots of the audience, and it looked like
everybody's, like, bug-eyed.
Early PS2, late PS1. Yeah, it's like, oh, God.
Yeah, it's really, really terrible.
Like, I mean, I know you gotta cut down on the effects of the audience, because you can't have perfect visuals for, like, hundreds of people, but, like, that looked bad.
Or something. Do something.
Yeah.
Come on. Nobody's stupid. But anyway, they've really they've been hiring the right people. I mean, their Castlevania collections have been made by M2, who are the people to do that. And they've been excellent, and they've included a lot of content. In fact, I'll say it right now that I've been playing Aria of Sorrow again, just for shits and giggles. I didn't expect to play a lot more of it, because, I just wanted to play around with it, but I got addicted to it again. And I forgot how good it was, because I had played all 3 of the Game Boy Advance games in a row, and I was burnt out by the time I got to Aria, which is by far the best one. So I didn't have as much of an appreciation for it the first time I went through it. So this game is really, really good. I really recommend it. It's very clear that Bloodstained is in the lineage of that particular game, because Aria, like, has that, like, Souls collecting aspect that adds a lot to the Metroidvania formula. Just by, you have something to collect and a completion thing to work towards, rather than, just simply working through the story and the map. So it's really cool that they brought that into it, and it's really fun and addicting, just like it is in Bloodstained. So I definitely recommend it. But yeah, I mean, Konami, maybe they've had a change of heart in recent years, and maybe might want to put out some collections. But a new game, I don't know. I mean, that survival Metal Gear game was the last Metal Gear game, right? Yeah, Survive.
Yeah, and 3 people liked it, and everyone else hated it.
Yeah, I mean, the last Castlevania game was Lords of Shadow 2.
Yeah, ironically, Kojima.
Yeah.
They got rid of Kojima from Metal Gear Solid, and the Castlevania game people didn't really care for was Kojima, because Ego was gone.
I mean, Lords of Shadow 2 was the very last one that we got that was a mainstream, like, console.
What was that, Mirror of Fate?
Mirror of Fate is the 3DS one that got ported to consoles and HD systems later on.
Okay.
Lords of Shadow 2 is, like, the one that has Alucard in it, or that version of Alucard in it.
Yeah, it's like an alternate universe or something.
Yeah, I mean, in this one, I think, like, I think Dracula is a Belmont.
Okay.
In this one, but I never got through it. But anyway, it's not that it's not good. I just never never bothered. Yeah, what I did play of it, I actually liked, but just didn't get that far. But I have to say that, if they were smart, they would put out new ones of these games. But, until then, we have plenty of other indie games. I think there's a Metal Gear-esque game called, Silent Gear or something like that. That's out currently that, seems to be pretty fun on Switch. So, yeah, it looks like that'll be fun. So play Bloodstained and other horror games. We don't need to put up with that crap until they finally wake up. Moving on from that, there are 4K Switch rumors going on, and that is always the case. But Bloomberg said it, so that means something. Bloomberg just doesn't say stuff. Bloomberg was the ones that said that a new model of the Switch is coming, and people were like, yeah, sure. And then, of course, the OLED version was announced. They were non-specific about it, so everybody assumed it was going to be the 4K one. But they were right about it. So I would say that Nintendo has come out and denied it, but they also deny a lot of things that are true when they leak. So I wouldn't trust Nintendo's word. I would actually trust Bloomberg's word on this. I don't know what your feelings are, Lotus, but
I mean, I don't care. I'll wait till there's an actual confirmation of something. I'm just fucking tired of rumors. Even if Bloomberg is generally reliable, wake me when Nintendo says, hey, there's a 4K Switch coming out.
Yeah, and also, actual details on it, we all want to hear, about features we actually want, you know what I mean? So, let's hope that they're there. Moving on from that, we do have some pretty cool news. Avatar: The Last Airbender's Toph was confirmed for Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl.
That's pretty badass. She's an earthbender, I think.
Yeah, exactly. So it was actually pretty funny because then somebody came out and said, watch the equivalent to Fire Emblem, random sword guy be Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah, just 100 Avatar characters.
Yeah, because they're built for this, right? They're built for an action game.
To Avatar's credit, Fire Emblem has a wide range of characters, but across multiple games, its primary playable protagonist is a blue-haired swordsman.
Yeah,
it's Avatar, Korra, and Aang, the fucking Shyamalan version. Korra and Aang are not the same person.
Yeah,
that's kind of nice.
Yeah, and they all have different, vastly different abilities, right? So
yeah, there's 4 main classes of bender, so depends what you do with that kind of stuff. But they're not all the fucking same character. Yeah,
exactly. So that's good news. All the Ninja Turtles are going to be in this, so who are you?
Well, they all look the same, but they play different.
Yeah, they all play different. But what I was trying to say is we can have multiple characters from the same property here. It's okay.
Well, yeah. Honestly, I would find it disappointing if you only had one character per property. I would expect 2. The
you
secondary
have to have
one.
Aang. Aang's the representative of the show, right? So
yeah, he's the main character, except for Legends of Korra, obviously, in which case it's Korra.
Well, yeah. But what I'm trying to say is he's the recognizable face of the brand.
He's the last Airbender.
Yes, exactly. So moving on from that, this was a nice surprise. So way back when there was a PC version of Legacy of Kain Blood Omen, and it had never been modernized.
This was a case where I didn't even realize that it was ever on PC, because at the time, GOG had both Soul Reavers and Blood Omen 2 and Defiance, but no Blood Omen 1. So I just assumed there was never a PC Blood Omen 1, but there was. They just didn't have it. So so now they finally do.
Yeah, they finally have the entire series now, which is pretty cool.
Well, actually, no. I just checked this.
Really?
Yeah, they used to, but they don't have Soul Reaver 1, but they do have 2. I don't know what
They
happened.
don't have Soul Reaver 1, the most popular game in the series?
Like, I bought it a while ago. I have it in my library, but I can't search it on the thing now.
That's incredible. I think that game is ripe for maybe a Night Dive remake, so maybe that's what's happening.
I mean, well, yeah, like, I played it on PlayStation, so just, like, for God's sake, improve the loading times. That's, like, all I ask. You had to load to pause. It was brutal.
I'm surprised you didn't play the Dreamcast version. The Dreamcast version is really, really good.
No, I'm talking about the Legacy of Kain Blood Omen.
Oh.
That was PS1
I'm sure it's just fine.
PC.
Yeah, I'm sure it's just fine on PC. But I'm excited. I mean, I'm sure that the sound quality is probably a lot better too on the PC version because it's probably uncompressed. So
I mean, I have nothing to compare it to, but I will say the voices sounded amazing.
Oh, really?
So that was not. Oh, yeah. I mean, like the narration. I don't like playing that game, but the narration makes it fucking worth it. Like it's so good.
The reason to play this game is for the story of it rather than the
the story's pretty good. Like when you see where you go with it, the story gets compelling, but the voiceovers carry the entire game. It's so good. What's his name? Simon Templeton as Kain. That guy, masterclass.
Yeah, I definitely recommend just you Let's Played that one, right?
Close enough. Yeah, I streamed it.
Oh, you streamed it. So you have it archived, I'm sure, right?
Yeah. That was one of my favorite bits in the game where someone is like, you know, I've seen your future. You will die. And Kane's like, but I am dead. And just murders the guy. It's great.
But, yeah, I was going to say, definitely step over and watch, his archived stream of it because, I mean, you can watch somebody else play it and get to experience all that good stuff.
Yeah, to be honest, it's really not that pleasant to play. It's like Rule of Rose. Like,
yeah.
Normally I say, play the game yourself for the true experience, but like, just watch those.
Yeah, exactly. I'm probably going to do that with Drakengard.
Yeah, Drakengard is very grindy and very repetitive, but the story is crazy.
Yeah, definitely there for that. Also, this was a pretty big surprise. Boy and His Blob is getting an update. The Way Forward version of Boy and His Blob from the Wii.
Yeah, that's going back.
So this is really cool because the original Boy and His Blob is
NES,
very
right?
very difficult and inscrutable. Like it is a very difficult game to play without a guide.
I was just gonna say I've never seen the game nor have I played it, but back when I could go to the library and get those books, like Secrets of the Nintendo Games. There's like 25 games in there. But I remember reading about a Boy and His Blob, and it's like, give it a white jelly bean to turn into a ladder. Give it a green jelly bean to tell it to turn to this. I'm like, what? And like, how would you know where to use it, and how do you keep track of this shit?
Yeah, so like the original game, you basically had to write down like what all of the jelly beans did, and also they're limited. Like the jelly beans are limited. You only get like one of a certain one, and it's for the very end of the game, so if you use it, you won't be able to use it correctly.
You know what that reminds me of? Did you ever beat the original Metal Gear?
I never beat it.
Because, like, do you know what the cigarettes do? Because you start the game with them.
Yeah, so they do end up restoring your health or something.
No, it's not that. Although amusingly, they're not called cigarettes in the Game Boy Color game. They just censor it, so they restore your energy.
They really just reveal like the lasers in Metal Gear Solid.
In Solid,
and the Game Boy game. Yeah.
But OG Metal Gear though, you know what that does?
No, I forget.
As far as I know, I think they might just drain your health. It's just like a useless item for until like literally the last minute or two of the game, where you have to beat Metal Gear.
It gives you more time.
Yeah, it resets the timer completely out of nowhere. Like what? Like There's
like a
no
nice little
reason to
secret.
think to use the cigarettes during the timer sequence unless
I remember that.
you're thinking
Yeah.
outside the box and you're like, well, I've never used them in the entire game. Maybe this is the time for no
I'm about to
reason.
die. Better smoke up.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's funny. But yeah, A Boy and His Blob for the NES was also like didn't have a save feature, and it was kind of a longish game. It was like one of those games that you needed to learn backwards and forwards in order to beat, and I guess that was the intention, but it ended up just being very frustrating as a result. Like you had to basically figure out the game bit by bit, and then eventually play like a perfect, run of the game.
Yeah, the actual
that.
game is like not that hard. It's just that you don't know what to do ever. When you finally find out, it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it was made by the guy who made by Pitfall, so it had some like cachet. It was made by David Crane, but it like, and if you watch the game, you're like, oh, the animation of the boy looks very similar to Pitfall Harry. But yeah, like. But somebody asked him in an interview, it's like, why'd you make that game so hard? You like tortured children, and like it looked like it was gonna be fun, and he's just like, well, I could have made it harder, and that was like his only response.
That's amazing.
Like fuck you, dude.
Yeah.
But like yeah, like it had a compelling premise, but they totally reimagined it, like the concept for the Wii, to the point where it's basically like puzzle areas that you could and you had unlimited jelly beans of like a set type for each stage, and you had to figure out what to do with the jelly beans you had in order to clear the stage. And I thought that was really, really a lot of fun. I thought it was very compelling to do it that way. And they also, it was extremely charming. I think the guy who came up with the character design is he basically said, I kind of wanted to make like the Blob into like the kid's pet, like so something like that he loved. So like he wanted the Blob to basically be like his Winnie the Pooh. So like he would hug him and
Sure.
pal around with him and take him everywhere he went. So, yeah, there was, like, a dedicated hug button because, the boy loves the Blob so much. So, it's very charming. He based the appearance of the boy on his young child at the time. And he, even shot video of his kid running around with a backpack and hopping around, in the clothes that he wanted the kid to have. It's very endearing.
That's like the rotoscoped OG Prince of Persia stuff.
Oh yeah,
His like brother or something just jumping over small things to use the animation in the game.
Exactly. A lot of. It was just so charming. So I'm looking forward to seeing this again on the Switch. I think they're even like adding content to it, so I'm excited about that. Moving on. SNK versus Capcom Match of the Millennium. That is the Neo Geo Pocket Color one that has been on the Switch for a little while. Is now on PC. I am super excited for anybody who doesn't have a Switch and didn't have a Neo Geo Pocket Color to actually have access to this game, because it is so much fun. I'm not even lying by saying it's one of the best fighting games ever made. It is really fun. I really recommend it, and it's a very good one for beginners as well, because it has a 2-button system. There is a punch button and a kick button, and you do jabs and light kicks by tapping, and like you do your roundhouse and your powerful punch, your uppercut. Is it uppercut is the third tier punch, something like that. In Street Fighter, but yeah, that your heavy punch is hold the button down longer. So it's simplified. It's a lot of fun. It's easy to play, and it's a tag game as well. Who knew that like a game back then would have a tag system? Like for the Neo Geo Pocket Color, it's basically running on a similar hardware to a Game Boy Color. That's amazing. And also. Cotton 2, Cotton Boomerang, and Guardian Force are all out on PS4 and Switch right now. they came out digitally, and you can buy them individually if you just want them, or you can wait for the physical version that has all three. But I appreciate the ability to buy them a la carte, because, you know, what if you don't want them all, you know?
Yeah, that's always nice.
And then the very first Melty Blood game to be localized.
Yeah, Melty Blood's been around since the PS2, but we've never officially gotten it.
Yeah, I think the last one was a PS2 game, right? And a lot of people imported that one. So
yeah, I've seen it around, but yeah, it's like maybe you've heard of it, but like now we finally got one just this week.
Yeah, it was kind of like one of those like indie darling kind of games, because it was a doujin fighter that like people played on PC initially.
Yeah. Well, that was what was shocking, is that like it actually got an official off the shelf store release like in Japan.
Yeah, and it's also related to Tsukihime, which is, you know,
wow.
I
remember that from
visual
college.
novel series. Yeah, visual novel series. So like
the main thing I remember about that is that the main character's name was Arcuade, and I forgot the last name, and it's like the most unmemorable. It's like an extremely difficult name to remember, and everybody called her like Atari Dumbledore for a while, because it's like I'm not remembering her real name.
Atari Dumbledore.
Yeah, like what was her real name? Arcuade Brunstud. It's like,
yeah,
I'm gonna forget that in 5 minutes.
Oh man, she must be like German heritage or something. But yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, Tsukihime like is actually like a pretty big like franchise. So like it has like an anime and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like there was a Melty Blood spin-off, and like people loved it, and even imported it when it came out on PS2. And yeah, the newest game is called Type Lumina, and we're finally getting it in the West, and it's coming out on all the major platforms: Switch, PS4, and Xbox One. So that's pretty cool. I know it was like one of those fighting games that was like easy to play, so it was like very beginner friendly back in the day. But I have no idea about the new one, obviously. But you know, I just wanted to do a shout out there, because it was kind of like in the hardcore gaming circles, like we were always talking about like the games that we never got, that we had to import, and like the hidden gems that you had to track down and import and all that kind of stuff. And Melty Blood was always amongst them, of the games that, you know, you could still play in, you know, with no knowledge of Japanese, that kind of thing.
That was the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, can I play it even though it's a Japanese game?
Yeah. So amongst, you know, that community, probably the most popular games were fighting games and shmups and other arcade type games. You know, and anything with action, a lot of action in it, that kind of thing too. So, you know, like the Berserk PS2 game, that was another one that a lot of people
yeah,
that's import.
I mean, the menu's even in English. They really feed it to you.
Yeah. Also, this was interesting. Yurukill was the culmination games.
It's not called Culmination?
No, it's...
Clumniation?
Clumniation, yeah. I don't,
all right.
that's clearly not...
Yeah, I'm looking at it in the notes. Like, are you saying it wrong? No.
No, that's what it's called. The Clumniation games was announced by Nippon Ichi for 2022 for Switch, PS4, and PS5. Now, this game is particularly interesting because it's a hybrid game, and I've never seen these two genres put together. So it is an investigation visual novel, you know, a la, you know, Phoenix Wright, or, you know, anything like that, and a shmup combined.
Yeah, that's different. I've seen shmups with VN elements in terms of just long storytelling. I've seen, this is such a stupid thing to bring up, but Nitro Plus Blaster Z, or BlazBlue, where there's just heavy VN, and it's a fighting game.
Yeah.
But, so, like, visual novel and shoot 'em up, I could buy, but the investigation part is what's throwing me off.
Yeah, I mean, even Persona 4 Arena was pretty much a visual novel too.
Oh, that's right, because it was like a follow-up of 4 or something.
Yeah, no, and 3. It was
yeah,
both,
it had characters in
games.
3. Yeah,
yeah, but yeah, this was very interesting in that it's kind of like Danganronpa Phoenix Wright meets a shmup, and the shmup stuff looked pretty fun. I don't know about the investigation stuff, but I am always for an investigation visual novel. I love them. I think they're really great. I think they're the best kind of visual novel. I mean, Snatcher, notwithstanding, it's my favorite type of visual novel is an investigation game. I love Hotel Dusk. I love all that stuff. So I'm all for it. It's just I've never seen that before. There has been other ones. There has been an investigation game added with a Picross game. Do you remember Murder by Numbers that we talked about a little while ago?
I actually have it, despite not yet having a Switch.
Yeah, Murder by Numbers is actually really fun.
There's a concept.
Yeah. So it's a Picross and an investigation visual novel, but I'm here for it. If it's good and everything's solid, I will pick it up. Also, a new open world horror game called Choo-Choo Charles is out.
Yeah, I've seen this, and do you know what my immediate thought was when I saw it? And you might have had the same thought. There's a chance.
Like Thomas the Tank Engine,
that's clearly what it's an homage to, like a fucked up creepy version.
No, I thought you meant like what I was gonna say is like the Elder Scrolls mod, where it chases you around as a dragon.
I forgot about that, but no. And this is something you've heard of.
Blaine the Train.
Well, close enough.
Oh, okay.
The book that scared Jake back in the day, it's even called Charlie the Choo-Choo.
Oh yeah, that's right. Blaine is the train that they
Blaine is the train that they were actually in. Charlie the Choo-Choo was just a charming children's book that there was a picture in it that I think Jake misremembered and it creeped him out. So I don't even think it was actually creepy. It's just he has this image in his head that's pretty creepy. But it was Charlie the Choo-Choo. So I see this Choo-Choo Charles. I'm like, is this a joke?
In the Dark Tower, I think the actual Charles train is decommissioned, isn't it?
That was Patricia.
Oh,
Charlie the Choo-Choo doesn't exist.
Oh, okay.
Blaine was a pink train and Patricia was a blue one.
Oh, okay. There we go.
And they were like, wait, that's weird. The colors are reversed. And one's like, who gives a shit?
But also, I don't know if people know this or not. This is just something because my parents are from the 50s that I know about this. But Choo-Choo Charlie was an actual thing. Do you know what Choo-Choo Charlie is?
Well, yeah, it's a brand new computer video game.
No.
This I do not know.
Choo-Choo Charlie is the mascot of Good and Plenty.
Oh wow!
The
CHEW Chew.
Yes, correct.
Okay, that makes more sense.
And he is the engineer on the train. But
that's kind of great.
And the train makes the sound good and plenty, good and plenty, good and plenty.
Oh.
But yeah, this looks like Thomas the Tank Engine meets It. Literally It. Like the Stephen King It.
Yeah.
So yeah, this looks great. Apparently, it stalks you in the game, and it looks like fun. So
this makes me think of Jaws. Just like, don't walk on the fucking train tracks. Game's over.
Well, it's a spider. It doesn't need tracks.
Okay, well then why is it a train?
I mean, it's terrifying.
It just looks like a train. All right.
I think it goes along with the aesthetic of the game because you can get onto other trains and fight it.
Bizarre.
Yeah. So it's. I think you're in like an abandoned train station or something like that. Yeah, in part of the game. So anyway, it looks like fun. It's coming out in 2022. So, but the trailer was released and I just been watching it and oh my god, it looks up my alley. So I just wanted to mention it. Moving on, this came out of nowhere. A new Gungrave game, Lotus. Gungrave Gore announced for 2022. It was a cinematic trailer, but
Why does that sound familiar?
Well, this is the fourth Gungrave game. I'm sorry, the Gungrave VR I forgot about.
Well, you know what it is? I mean, I guess the news is that it's coming out, but I thought I'd heard of this before, but like if you I just Googled it. If you go to YouTube, you could look up Gungrave Gore, like a way early trailer from like 2019.
Oh, maybe we had even talked about it. Yeah, maybe you're right.
Maybe not, but yeah, this is not like, oh, there's going to be a new Gungrave game. It's more like, oh, they're finally confirming the launch of the Gungrave game.
Yeah, but this is awesome. I mean, I think we've talked about Gungrave in the past, but Gungrave was an early PS2 game that was released by Sega shortly after the death of the Dreamcast in the United States, and it was made by Red Studio, with makers of like a lot of TurboGrafx games like Bonk. Yeah, they Red made some pretty fun games, and it got popular enough to get a sequel and an anime that was good on its own. So it's kind of unusual for that to happen.
I was just going to mention, this is one of those rare cases where the game is not the adaptation. The anime came from the game.
Yeah, it was actually really good. I've enjoyed it. It was one of those games, those anime that came out like when Genium was around. It was like one of those.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah, I used to love Genium stuff. Like anything that Genium put out, I knew was going to be really good.
I still have the first 4 volumes of Hellsing Ultimate.
Oh yeah,
and that's all that exists. Cause
I still have.
And it's Funimation.
Paranoia Agent on Genium DVD, and
yeah,
I think it's worth something.
I was just going to mention that's an impressive thing to have. Yeah.
Yeah. Genium put out some really, really good shit back in the day, yeah, Gungrave. I mean, it was one of those action games that was surprising and a lot of fun. It'd probably be really clunky by today's standards, so I'm not going to say like go back to it, but at the time it was pretty fun. It was very flashy and very anime, and that's what I liked about it. And it just had like cinematic executions and things like that, and it was just a lot of fun. Stuff like the original Devil May Cry blows it out of the water, though. I mean, and that was during that generation. So even the original Devil May, though the original Devil May Cry is like a game that will be good forever. But
yeah, I was gonna say like it pales in terms of gameplay in comparison to like 3, 4, and 5, but it's still pretty good even by today's standards.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been topped by its own series, and that's it. Really,
it's like Resident Evil 4. Like, games play better now, but you could still play it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Bayonetta's going to be better too because it's like the same.
Yeah, lineage. A whole console generation later, it was Devil May Cry 4 era.
Yeah, but it's the original Devil May Cry is still wonderful. But I just wanted to mention Gungrave because it's nostalgic and it's kind of it's fun to look back at it. And this one is yours.
This threw me. Somebody made, like, this isn't like a fan thing. Like, somebody made lyrics to Green Hill Zone, from Sonic the Hedgehog 1. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na.
Yeah.
They made lyrics to it, and it says the song was first announced during an intermission of the Sonic 30th Anniversary Symphony concert in June, but now it's out. You can just watch it on YouTube. It's called Dreams Come True, on the Green Hill. It sounds quite good.
Do you know why it's called that?
Dreams Come True. I think I should know that. Is that like a Sonic Adventure thing?
So Dreams Come True.
Nights into Dreams.
Dreams Come True is the name of the band. It was a J-pop band that wrote the music for Sonic the Hedgehog 1.
Oh, so maybe it was the band that...
The band's name.
Maybe that is the band's name even
now
then?
Yeah.
But yeah, Yuji Naka approves, which is pretty cool. There's a Twitter post that says, Sonic 1's Green Hill Zone will be released next week. There's Sonic on the back of the CD. Sonic like SE is also ringing. I'm not quite sure what that means, and I feel quite nostalgic. Maybe sound effects maybe. It is unique to the composer of Sonic 1. It feels like Sonic's 30th anniversary. I'm happy. So Yuji Naka proves that's pretty damn good.
Yeah, so a lot of people don't know this, but like, you know, there are individual music holder rights to the original Sonic's music. So
yeah, it's pretty good. Like if you listen to it, I mean, like it's in Japanese, of course, although you can look up a translation. But
sure,
it sounds great.
I'm excited to hear it. I haven't got a chance to listen to it yet. Also, Hot Wheels Unleashed came out for the Switch, and apparently it is. Actually, I think it's out for everything. But apparently it's awesome. Like a lot of people really like it. It's like an arcadey racing game with like a lot to do in it because there's like a lot of collecting that you can do to get like different cars, like different Hot Wheels cars.
I actually appreciate that because obviously like a racing game makes sense, but I appreciate that they actually address like, can you collect all the cars? Because I mean,
that was the fun of Hot Wheels. You know?
Yeah, I was gonna say like our generation I think is very obsessed with collecting, but like people were collecting Hot Wheels decades earlier, like when they were like metal cars.
Well, I mean, even we were kids, there was like
I had a few Hot Wheels back in the day.
The toys that you bought always told you what else was in the set on the back.
That's true. Yeah, Ninja Turtles, like, also look out for these characters or whatever.
And, you know, the little burgeoning collector in me always wanted to get every single one, you know. So
I really like the Transformers where they had the stats on the card.
Yeah.
Of, like, intelligence, strength, speed, or whatever.
Well, what was cool about some of it was that the flavor text that they would put on like the little cards that you would cut out on the back of you know, the blister pack or whatever. I used to do that for my Exo Squads and for
oh my god, Exo Squad.
Exo Squad was my toy back in the day. It's seldomly talked about now, but it had a really great TV show with mature themes in it, and a pretty decent Genesis game. But
I was more of a Ninja Turtles guy. I had some Transformers, but you know what I particularly remember liking, even though they weren't really mine, was my brother had Z-Bots. Do you remember Z-Bots?
I don't know Z-Bots.
They're just little kind of robot-looking figures. I mean, you could look them up, but like they're just kind of cool. I remember Burger King had them as a Happy Meal. There were some Burger King exclusive ones back in the day.
Oh, I remember these. I remember the play set. Yeah, I remember.
My brother
those.
actually had like the home base, whatever it was called. And,
I remember.
And the Mega Bot, which is this giant fuck off bot that you could put a bunch of.
Yeah, they were made by Micro Machines. I remember this. Okay,
they were cool.
Yeah. I liked anything that was small like that. Like, they had Ninja Turtles that were kind of like Mighty Max toys that I really liked.
We had 2 of those, I want to say.
Yeah, I really liked playing with those because they came with like a lot of accessories and cool little things that you could do with the play sets.
And we also had a couple of Ninja Turtles Transformers, like Raphael into the jet and Donatello into the helicopter, where his staff was the rotor blades. Like, the staff itself cracked apart and you could fold it like clockwise or counterclockwise to make it into like 4-blade propeller instead of just a staff. It was kick-ass.
Well, I guess my point in talking about this Hot Wheels game is that like, you don't expect a licensed title to be very good, and especially one that's aimed at children, generally speaking. So, like, you expect it to be serviceable, right? You know, to work, and to provide a little bit of fun for them. But, like, adults are buying this game and love it. Like, apparently it's, like, really a lot of fun. And it came out around the same time as Cruisin' Blast, and everybody's loving that. So, like, a lot of people just, like, picked them both up at the same time. And apparently they're really liking it. It's, like, one of those, like, hidden gem kind of, like, situations. It's like, Jesus, like, nobody expected this to be
Hot Wheels.
Yeah, like
Hot Wheels video games are those things that you kind of notice on the shelf and you're like, all right, but apparently this is pretty good.
Well, yeah, like it's hard to believe that like Hot Wheels were like something that we spent an entire day playing with. Like I would play with my Hot Wheels like forever. Like, you know what I mean? Like I would set up tracks and things like that in my house, and like different. I even had like a little garage that I would put them in. Like, we used to do a lot of cool stuff. I had, like, these tattoo-themed ones that had, like, what looked like temporary tattoo designs all over them. And when temporary tattoos were a big thing when we were kids. It was just, it was just a lot of fun. But, yeah. It's pretty cool to see something like that have a cool product that might be relevant to you. Moving on from that, this one is also yours.
Yeah, this was shocking because they confirmed 2 characters for King of Fighters 15 on the same day. That doesn't happen. So one of them is new, Isla, and she is definitely a different type of character. She's got this hip-hop vibe. She looks like she fell out of, like, a Jet Set Radio game. Like, she doesn't have the rollerblades, but she's definitely in that punk spray paint scene. Like, she uses spray paint, and she seems to have some sort of power associated with it, like a freaking Guilty Gear character. But, like, she sprays spray paint, and then she suddenly has, like these hands floating above her shoulders. It's like a stand power, but it's just hands. So she's got something going on with the spray, and it looks badass. And the other character confirmed...
I might add that, like, everybody took to her immediately.
Yeah, they were like, oh shit,
like,
this is clever. Yeah. And the other character is K-Dash. He's another one of those, of course, he's back.
Yeah, he's one of the main characters of King of Fighters.
He's too cool. He's aloof, and he wears sunglasses, and he's got these sick flame powers, and he's wicked fast. There's one move I completely forgot he had, where it's basically a projectile move, where he throws his sunglasses at you, but they don't do the damage. When they get to the point where they would hit you, he, like, runs at them super fast and catches them and hits you at the same time, so, like, he's the projectile. It's great.
Yeah, he is, like, supposed to be a clone of Kyo, I think?
I assume so, because it's got the K, yeah.
Yeah, but,
he's got the fire powers. He's, like, a so cool version of Kyo, like the new, modern, edgy look.
Yeah, he's like an Orochi version of Kyo, I think, is what it's supposed to be. But, yeah, really, really cool stuff. I mean... of course he's there, it's one of those things, but like...
He's one of those characters, like, I kind of forgot, and when I saw him, I'm like, oh...
Yeah, he's like one of the main
How did
characters.
I forget? Yeah.
He's one of the main characters, so it would be like not having Ash, which is... Ash is one of the main characters as well, so...
I might be remembering this wrong. Was Ash the Akira guy?
Ash is the blonde guy.
Oh,
with the
no,
blue
Ash
flames.
is the pretty boy, like, don't care. Yeah, he's the one who really makes a point of looking like he's not trying when he fights. I got it, the red-haired one. Okay.
Very aloof, yeah.
Who is the Akira guy?
Akira? What do you mean?
Like, he looks just like end-of-movie Tetsuo. Oh, K9999. There it is.
Oh, yes.
With the tattered cape, and he, like, when he backs away from you, he actually doesn't. He just turns his back on you and walks away. I love that.
Tetsuo.
That doesn't happen in fighting games where they just actually walk away when you hold the backward button. They don't back away. They just turn around and I don't care. I'm too cool for you.
Oh, man. I really want a full remake of
Akira.
Yeah, I know they won't do it because it's such an iconic movie, but I want the full manga represented. But anyway, and we also have some other like kind of nostalgic-y like animation stuff show up this week. I don't know if anybody else remembers this. I know you do, Lotus, but Salad Fingers
creeped me out back in the day, man.
Oh yeah, and it should. Salad Fingers. David Firth put out a new Salad Fingers over the weekend.
You know what that reminds me of? Like when Homestar Runner updated for the first time in like 6 years or whatever. They just put out another episode. Like what?
Yeah, it was an April Fool's.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Too,
what? Why isn't this Windows 95?
But yeah, a new episode, and it's great. I really recommend it. It is everything you'd want from Salad Fingers, and it's a lot of fun. Did you get a chance to watch it?
No, I didn't even know it was out. I didn't know there was another one.
Yeah, definitely watch it. It's a classic. I would say it's one of the better ones actually. It's really
now
good.
Do another burnt face man.
I'm not. I love that.
I can hear you, but I can't see you. I'm trapped behind glass. What?
I remember when the new one came out, like, after, like, the long hiatus, and you're like, oh no! Oh god! Like, Vice, you gotta watch this new burnt face, man! I'm like, what?
Because it's so dumb, yeah. Would you like to play a game of chance? No? Would you like me to count to 53? What the hell is this?
And I don't know whether we talked about this or not, but like recently there was a new Dr. Bees that was fantastic.
Yeah, out of nowhere. Yeah. I mean, Harry Partridge has still been doing stuff, but he doesn't do like
nothing
follow-ups.
On the scale of Dr. Bees.
Yeah, Dr. Bees.
Yeah, Dr. Bees. The newest Dr. Bees is the best episode of Dr. Bees, which is saying a lot because I love the original Dr. Bees.
Yeah, there appears to be an overabundance of bees. Perhaps this edition of bees will help the problem.
Maybe a shit ton of bees.
Yeah, I'll just add more bees.
Oh god!
It's so good.
But and everybody has the same stupid voice because it's his stupid voice.
Yeah, it's supposed to be dumb. Yeah.
Yeah, but I really love the new one. The new one like almost has continuity, which is real like.
Yeah, kinda, yeah.
Which is really kind of alarming considering how stupid Dr. Bees is.
Yeah, you don't wanna be around Dr. Bees.
It's
he literally has like a doctor's like black bag, the old timey medical bag, and he'll just open it and just fucking bees.
By day,
yeah, he's like a wasp or a bee scientist or something.
A wasp scientist, but
yeah,
it
wasn't quite
bees.
But yeah, that would be like, you know, Peter Parker. By day, he's like the top spider researcher. It's like, come on.
Not even like the Dottie Longlegs researcher.
Yeah, it's like a little bit.
Bees are not wasps.
Yeah.
But. It's like, oh my god. But yeah, Salad Fingers is like one of those things we used to watch like on Newgrounds or like Albino Black Sheep or whatever.
YouTube.
Yeah,
and it creeped me out. I don't know what people will think of it now that YouTube has so much stuff on it, but back in the day it was like, whoa.
Oh yeah, can you go in the back of the oven and get something for me?
It's just right there in the back.
I like crusty spins. Yeah, just I like to stroke them. It's wonderful, and it seems like David Firth has like made a career off of it. Like, thank God, like he can make. Yeah. He's making merch and stuff now, which is like.
Perhaps
awesome.
Now you can buy your own Hubert Cumberdale.
Yeah. So I definitely recommend the new one because it's excellent. I love it. But moving on, you have another one here.
This is a weird one. So, you know that every year James Rolfe does Cinemassacre's Monster Madness.
It's actually something I look forward to every October.
It's fantastic. It's every day of October. He'll review some monster movie. Maybe there's a theme this year, maybe there isn't. You know, it depends on what he's doing each year. Sometimes he's had themed years. But this one got off to a surprisingly shaky start because... He's not doing this 100% by himself. He has writers, at least people who contribute to the writing, whatever. But if you go to Cinemassacre.com, which you'll have to do to watch this stuff because it's not on YouTube, probably because he's showing a lot of movie clips and he just doesn't want to put up with the shit anymore on YouTube. But if you go to the...
I think he said it was because he wanted to include the violence and he also wanted to include like clips of the movies and he didn't want to like run into strikes.
Well, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean, well, the violence is another thing, but I'm talking the strikes. Yeah. But if you go to Cinemassacre's, like, around the world, Monster Madness around the world, so I guess that's the theme. So he's picking countries.
I was really looking forward to this because he's supposedly going to have some, like, really obscure but good stuff in there.
Yeah, so far, at the time of this recording, it's only October 3rd. So he had done 28 Days Later from England, The Host from Korea, and Mark of the Devil from Germany, I think.
Yeah, Germany.
But the thing is, if you go to look up the list of videos, 28 Days Later, the first one, is not there anymore. If you you could find it on the the website that hosts it, like Odyssey, Odyssee. I guess it might be in a playlist somewhere, but you can't find it on the site anymore because it turned out that some of the material, like in the voiceovers, was just straight up plagiarized from some other review. And
wow.
this is not like alleged, that this is like confirmed, because if you go to Mark of the Devil, which is the third movie he's been reviewing, it says the first episode this month had unfortunate issues with plagiarism and we have removed the video until a later date. So like somebody copied something somewhere, so that's highly unfortunate. And there's one other thing that I missed, so I don't know if this is true or not, but like I said, day 2, I forgot which one was the replacement, the host or Mark of the Devil, but somebody had mentioned that Bad Taste might have been on one of these, but it's not available. I don't know if that's actually confirmed or not, but I was there, I saw 28 Days Later, I saw the video, and now it's not there anymore. And if you go to the Mark of the Devil thing, it just outright says there was a plagiarism issue. So they're being upfront with the problem, but this was a surprise, and it's the first video of Monster Madness, so it's like rocky start. So hopefully
what's kind of funny is the first post on it is great start. Glad to be watching MM on the Cinemassacre site again. So it's really ironic that it's just like not there anymore.
Yeah.
And it's not a great start.
yeah. I mean, it was a good video, but like some of the sentences were just outright lifted from some, I think it was like a text-based review somewhere.
That sucks.
That's unfortunate. Yeah.
And I really feel bad because I know some of those guys. Like, well, not like I'm not friends with them or anything.
You've met them at a convention, whatever.
I've met them and they're nice, you know. And like I have friends that are good friends with them. So like it's. They're all from the Jersey area, so like you could still see Justin Silverman like around. You know,
they're just around. So, like they're going to be at too many games because they always are, because it's not far from them. Yeah,
they'll probably be around next week. In fact,
well, yeah, James is going to be there. I don't know about the others, but James is going to be there all 3 days.
That's awesome. I'll probably be stopping by because it's not far from my home. So, but that really stinks, and I always feel like people are trying to churn up. Like drama that doesn't exist for Cinemassacre. Do you ever get that feeling?
I mean, there are people who hate this aspect or that aspect of it. Like, there's always that, but like, but this is real.
It's really a shame because, like, I really feel like James really tries really hard.
Well, yeah. I mean, he busts his ass for decades. I mean, people suspect that he just read the voiceover, and whoever put the scripts together is the culprit. Because like he's not doing the shit by himself
Justin's the one who's admitting to putting it together.
So yeah, so that could be a real fucking problem.
Yeah, and that's a shame because Justin's a really cool guy. Watch some of his early content; it's really funny.
Yeah, one of my favorite things he's ever done was when he went to Digital Press and he was trying to buy the new Madden game, and to pay for it, he was going to turn in, quote, every Madden game ever made, and he just puts a pile of fucking Madden games, and the joke is the guy offers him like a couple bucks for it. But it was funny to me because it was like an actual employee of Digital Press.
Living around here, like you know those people too, like
yeah, so like I see the video, I'm like, oh, I've been there.
Yeah. There's one that's really great where he goes around to like a local flea market, like dressed up in like something ridiculous. I think he has a power glove on or something like that, and like he's just going around like being obnoxious.
That's like a Mega 64 gag.
Yeah, and like he managed to find like Surge, like in that, like they had Surge, like like back before they remade it, like they put out Surge in cans like a little while ago just to be nostalgic, but like it was before that, so like it had to have been old. They had it coming out of the fountain, like the soda fountain.
Wow.
He's just like, oh man, they have Surge.
That's great.
It was really funny. Did you ever see that one with that guy, that really awkward guy playing like Mario 3?
Oh, at Too Many Games. That's one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Like Justin in particular, because he was with. They don't do this anymore, but the Jags group, like the Just a Game series or something like that.
Yeah.
But like it was like the three of them. two of them were cracking up a bunch because this guy's performance was amazing. Justin was able to hold it together very well, but like there was one part where he cracked where the guy insisted on being called Skippy, and which was just pretty funny, and Justin was making a joke about that. He's like, yeah, but choosy mothers choose Jif, and Skippy's like, well, they would call me because the guy's real name was Jeff, but he wanted to be called Skippy, and he's like, well, choosy mothers choose Jif, and the Skippy guy was like, yeah, well, they wouldn't call me that because Jif isn't a name, and like Justin was like, what the fuck? This is like really funny.
Yeah, look that up if you have a chance. But I feel bad for Justin because he's a truly funny person and also like works really hard as well as James. So like it's really a shame that I hope it's a mistake. I hope it wasn't intentionally done because
yeah, I mean, even if it will you don't do that by mistake. You do that by like laziness. Like you don't accidentally copy word for word somebody else's stuff.
Well, I'll read you the recent post.
Okay.
Because this will be relevant. Unfortunately and regrettably, this video contains plagiarized work from a 2014 review article of the film. In the chaos of putting together notes for our new 31 videos, someone slipped up and slid cited sources and notes into the script as actual dialogue. We sometimes look at reviews from years past to see how criticism of the film has evolved over the decades and sometimes cite them. Yes, James usually does all the heavy lifting on the previous year's Monster Madness, sometimes with others, but this year he trusted me to get everything together and I failed him. And all of you. There will be punishment over this for myself, but our goal is to get the rest of the episodes this month without incident. I, James, and Cinemassacre, as well as a whole, sincerely apologize. It will not happen again. It has never happened with Monster Madness before. Plagiarism is vile and never okay. I understand this is fully before and after the incident. This 28 days later review will be rewritten, revoiced, and replaced soon. Justin Silverman.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, at least they're just owning up to it, because I appreciate that they're not trying to find like excuses or whatever.
Yeah. But they are saying that it was a mistake, so I don't know whether that's accurate or not, though.
Well, yeah, like I mean, this is something that you don't do. I just appreciate that they're like, well, you got me, it was a bad thing. Like I appreciate that they're just taking it on the chin.
Yeah, I'm wondering even if James might distance himself from Justin, because like this is his like career.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll find out, because
it's
too many
one that
games
can get damaged
is in like a week.
by things like this. It can get irreparably damaged from a scandal.
Yeah, it's a bad luck. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's basically remained clean this entire time. He stays out of political debates. He doesn't like to insult anybody or anything like that. He really
makes sure that his videos stay in their own universe. Yeah.
Yeah, and he really his jokes are not making fun of people. It's just, a lot of cursing and kind of like,
yeah.
Like that kind of like humor. But like it's never an insult humor. He's not that kind of person.
Yeah,
he doesn't, and he's a really nice guy, so you wouldn't want that. So it's a shame that this is happening. Really, that's all I could say about that.
Mm-hmm.
This last one is also yours, and this is a bummer.
Yeah, just rest in peace, Takao Saito. And he is the creator of Golgo 13. This is something that I haven't read or watched, but it's something that's been around. I've heard of it. This was like the most badass James Bond style assassin ever. He gets all the ladies. He gets all the kills. He's unstoppable, super cool. Like, and there was even, I think, even in America, a Nintendo game for that.
There are two,
which is shocking because like you didn't know what that was.
There is the Golgo 13 game, and then its sequel, the Moffat Conspiracy, which was not labeled as a Golgo 13 game, but it is there.
I just remember one clip. I think it was from the Golgo 13 movie. I might have mentioned this on the podcast before, but it's the most like perfect example I can think of just encompassing this guy's character, where someone knew. I think
or
that
lack of.
well, I'll take character for this one, because someone knew that he was coming for them, and they're like, I'm just gonna kill myself, and they just jumped. I think they were on like a few stories up. Like they fell for a little while, and so they jumped off a building, and Kogo aims down and fucking gets a headshot before they hit the ground.
so he technically
gets
killed
the
them.
kill. I think he could have collected anyway, but like, damn.
Yeah, but he always does what he's paid for, right?
Yeah, like so... you're not taking this from me. You're not gonna kill steal yourself.
It's just, whenever I think of Golgo 13, I always think of that
he has like giant dick or whatever.
Yeah,
so sexy for the ladies.
I've read it to you in the past, but
yeah, it's so
it's
stupid.
Just this description, basically, what a 13-year-old thinks of what a macho man can be.
So awesome, yeah.
he can have sex, but also remain completely aware of his surroundings.
Yeah,
like fuck off with that. Like. It's so funny. It's so funny.
I could see that happening for like the one moment where I need to remain aware, but like he could just do that anyway, just all the time.
Yeah, he's basically they're kind of alluding to him being like a wild animal. Like he never trusts anything around him, so like he's always like
Yeah, he's the ultimate assassin and badass because you can't kill him because he's always ready for you.
But yeah, this manga was running continuously since the 60s. So
yeah, it's huge. Yeah.
Yeah, good luck reading all that. But I'm sure there's some like best of compilations and things like that. It's very episodic. Like it's very like it's not like continuous storylines kind of thing. He's a character that comes in and kills everybody, and then moves on to the next.
Yeah, that's really his thing, yeah.
So it's really the people around him that are the interesting part. He's kind of a force of nature, as it were. But I appreciate the he's just been around for so long, and he's kind of like one of those cornerstones. It comes from that era of like Lupin the Third and things like that, when spies and assassins were like the cool thing, like in media.
But it also kind of makes me think of like Fist of the North Star, not in terms of spying, but like just the idea he punches someone and they fucking explode, but then it goes on for long enough where like they get a real story and flesh out the elements of it.
Well, Fist of the North Star has more of a definitive story than Golgo 13 it does.
But even so, when you read the first couple chapters, you're like, there's a story here, but like you're there for the cool violence, but then it actually becomes genuinely compelling later on.
The art was on Golgo 13 was also really iconic. Like it had like a very specific, very kind of angular look that I particularly liked. Like the main characters just had a very striking like iconic look. So the creator will be missed. He has certainly a wonderful legacy, kind of trailing him. So that's something that he could be proud of for sure. Anything else that we would like to go over here, Lotus, before we wrap up?
No, I think I'm good.
That's the show for this week. Please remember to subscribe to the Corrective Consciousness YouTube and Soundcloud pages. While there, please give us thumbs ups, likes, and 5-star ratings on iTunes. It helps promote and spread awareness of the show, and any bit of encouragement helps keep the show going. You can also catch us on Thursday for our sister podcast, Corrective Consciousness, where we will be going over the Burton and Schumacher Batman franchises. Finally, you can friend me as vysethebold on pretty much anything. Just give me a DM first. Let me know who you are. That way I know how you know me.
And you could follow me on my YouTube channel, Lotus Prince. You can hit me up on Twitter at Lotus Prince. And finally, if you are interested in seeing my videos early, getting in exclusive live streams, I'm currently doing Onimusha, selecting upcoming games for me to Let's Play, or getting in conversations with me and other patrons on Discord, then perhaps consider swinging by my Patreon account, which can be found at patreon.com/LotusPrince.
That's just prime. Well, we'll catch up with everyone on Thursday then.
Until next time, everyone.
Bye-bye.